What did you do with the time that you had? Did you invest it like an asset, or were you so filled with shame about the fact that your seasons were going to change, as if you haven't learned anything at all from the different seasons that we have in life? Welcome to the MoneyFitMD show. I'm Dr. Latifat, the founder of MoneyFitMD. We want to change the narrative where women physicians use. My job is to let you know that's going to. I have to surround myself with people that are doing crazy. Hey guys, I am excited about this episode that I'm about to record. And I believe that it is going to help you so much because it is going to address something that many women physicians experience we don't talk enough about. And unfortunately, it's costing us a lot of money. And it is not only costing us our money, it is probably costing you your freedom. It is probably costing you your future. And it's probably costing you to overwork so hard, burn out so hard, grind so hard. And that is one of the reasons why women physicians have lower net worth, but also why we're hecka tired. So it is time for us to address this once and for all. And that topic is one that addresses shame. So welcome guys, I'm Dr. Latifat. I'm a GI doctor. I'm a mama of 3 ladies and the founder of MoneyFitMD. Everything we do here is to help women physicians have more money, more freedom, so they can live life and practice medicine on their terms. So I'm excited about this topic because shame is something that I actually have dealt a lot with. Oh my goodness, guys. Like for real, when I think about when I started doing my episodes, when I started doing my finances, the reason why it took me longer to get started was because of shame. And I'll tell you how shame was showing up for me. And you may also identify with some of this as well. But what shame was doing is that shame prevented me from looking at my own finances, meaning that I did not know what I had. I did not know who I owed. And part of it was that I had this fear that I was going to experience shame from looking at my finances and finding out that I owed a lot of money. I was like, what if I look at my money and I cannot fathom how I would pay off the amount that I owed? And if that happened, I would feel shame and disappointment. And so I did not look at my finances for a long time. I did not know how much my student debt was. I did not know who I owed. I just knew that someone would send me letters and I would just forbear, defer, whatever I could do to get it out of my face. And part of that was really because of the shame that I had in my body about what I could find, what I did not know, but could find. Another way that shame was showing up for me was that I was not asking for help from anybody. I could not ask for help. In fact, I remember really, really well. I was walking around a hallway in my fellowship and I heard some of my senior fellows talking about the stock market. And I heard, I don't remember, it was Dow or something that I heard. And guys, I turned around so fast. I was like, I turned around so fast because what would it look like if they found out that I did not know? I did not know, right? And so shame caused me to hide instead of asking for help. And to be honest with you, even after I started my financial journey, that kind of followed me for a while, where anytime I would encounter things that I did not know, instead of asking for help, I would pretend like I knew, or I would pretend like it was not important, or I would pretend like I had no time. I would just come up with anything that helped me escape. And this is one of the reasons why I care so much about this topic, because when I speak with women physicians, the shame that you guys are carrying, it is causing you to do things like, not look at your finances like me, but also things like not negotiating your salary. Because number one is you're like, I earn so little that, relatively speaking, that I don't even want anybody to know what I owe, what I earn, even though, like an app says, getting the air in is part of how healing takes place. And so what ends up happening is we keep things bottled up. And as you know, if you have an abscess that's bottled up, the antibiotics is not getting in, it's not getting well aerated, there's a very good chance that it could continue to expand and grow, and that can literally kill someone, right? And so for you guys, shame, that's one of the things that I've seen is like shame causes that.
The other way that I've seen examples of shame costing women positions are, maybe you're someone that has actually invested. Maybe you bought a property, you did the best case scenario, and now after investing in the property, it has now turned into a liability. You've done everything you could do. You've tried to optimize it. You've given it time in different markets, in different seasons, but yet it is not going from the liability bucket to becoming an asset. But you have so much shame because you don't want to experience shame. You don't want to experience disappointment. And so instead of figuring out a plan to pivot, you continue to like dig yourself into a hole, and it costs you a lot of money because now something that should be cash flow positive or gotten rid of is negative, but you keep digging yourself in holes because you have shame or fear of shame. So this stuff really does affect us significantly as women physicians. And what I found is that when people understand the fact that they're not alone, when they understand the fact that it is okay to pivot, when they understand the fact that shame is actually completely useless, and the difference between them and the next door person is just that the other one is like, failure is part of life, success is part of life. I'm not going to shame myself. I'm not going to guilt myself. I'm just going to grow and pivot, right? It changes everything for them. Like once people realize that they waste less time sitting down in this hole of shame, but spend more time now just moving forward, pivoting and growing, enjoying their life, negotiating, taking risks, being courageous, and doing all this other stuff. So I want to talk in this episode about 5 ways that shame comes up for women physicians when it comes to their money and when it comes to their financial and building their rich and wealthy life. Number one, like I kind of mentioned earlier, is the fact that people can experience shame or the concern about shame in future. And that can limit their ability to do things. So, for example, you know, there was someone that I was speaking to who had bought a piece of item and they had not asked how much the item was going to cost before it was custom made, right? They did not ask how much it was going to cost. This item was made and actually was significantly more expensive than they had anticipated. If they had asked the person that was creating it how much it was, that would have prevented so much headache and pain and stress and miscommunication. But because of the concern for shame of, what if they name a price that I cannot afford at this moment, or I think is too high for the value that I'm getting? Now, if that was to come up, I may feel shame that I, as a physician, don't have unlimited buckets of money in the world to be able to pay for things that I may not even think is of value, right? And so in this situation, the fear of shame or the expectation of shame was the reason why this person didn't ask for how much this was going to cost, and now it's costing them more stress than it would have if they had actually asked for them how much it was going to cost, right? The other way the fear of shame may come in is when it comes to negotiation. Maybe you're want to negotiate. Maybe you want to offer someone a position at work. Maybe you want to delegate something. But anytime there's an opportunity for you to be rejected, quote unquote, you're rejected, which literally means someone is just saying, no, I don't wanna. You're like, okay, if they tell me no, I will experience shame. And if I experience shame, I don't like the feeling of shame. So I don't want to experience shame. So I'm not going to ask. So literally, you're not shooting your shot because you're worried that you may experience shame if you get the no. Number one is experiencing shame will not kill you. That's number one. But also, number two, the fact that someone says no may have nothing to do with you, right? Like when I think about even in my own world, like when people offer ask me if I want to buy something, I'm not thinking about them necessarily. I'm thinking about, is this something that's valuable for me right now? And if the answer is no, I may say no, but that does not mean that my no has means you're a horrible person, you're a bad person, or anything like that. I'm just saying no because it does not work for me in my life right now. It is not an asset in my life. It is not a value in my life. It has nothing to do with you. But if you're walking around afraid that you're going to get a no, and if you get a no, you're going to feed yourself with thought that's not going to cost you to have shame, that is literally costing you your future costing you maybe multiple six figures per year that you could be earning. Okay. The other way that shame can start to creep up for you is when it comes to you not knowing things. So, like I mentioned earlier, like when I started my journey, I did not know many things. And still, right now, I don't, I mean, I know many things, but there are many things that I still don't know. And my job is to continue in life as a teacher and as a student, right? I'm doing things like I read lots of books because I want to acquire knowledge from different authors, right? I want to get their knowledge, I want to get in their head, I want to get in their mind so that I can leverage their experience, their expertise without wasting more time or money or attention or resources, right? But when we're having shame, we're experiencing shame about unknowing, you're gonna keep quiet. It's like when you're on the words and you're a third year med student and people are using big words and you're like, I don't know what that is. All your other third year med students are acting like they know one. None of y'all know what they're talking about, right? But we've been so ingrained to have shame about not knowing things that we're afraid to ask. And that literally costs us money and time. And one of the things that I realized is the more time that I've spent studying people that are super wealthy and super successful, they leverage like crazy. It's like, why would I want to waste my time when I can ask someone for help? Why would I want to waste my time when I can ask someone that has done it before? Like, why would I want to waste my time? Because they understand that their time is their most valuable asset. But you're like, I would rather feed myself with this poverty mindset of the fact that not knowing is a negative impact to my identity as a human. When people that are super successful are like, I don't know, I just don't know, but I don't need to know anything. I just need to know who or how or who really what's a who. But I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and it was by this amazing, powerful, badass woman, Nigerian woman, who, I think she may be a billionaire or crazy high millionaire. And she as just an amazing woman. She's a mom, multiple businesses, she's a wife, she's a pastor. And she was just talking about how in when she started out, she had no experience in some of the work that she was recruited for in terms of like the field she was recruited for. So, for example, she did her biggest business was in securities, and she's like, I had no experience with securities, but I had experience with building companies. Right? She was called to lead a bank, and she's like, I have no experience with leading a bank. I'm an engineer by training, but she had built businesses in engineering, right? So you can see how her experience, the core um that she needed in order to execute the function was similar, even though it was in a different field, right? But she's like, I don't need to. Why would I? We need to learn to leverage our strengths and not just keep focusing on our weaknesses. And success leaves clues. So if you're finding someone that you define as super successful by your own definition, a mom, a wife, a pastor, a leader, a speaker, a very dynamic, humble human being, is like, why would I waste my time about what I don't know when there are people that know it in my surrounding? It's because she understands the value that she brings. And so there's an exchange of value. So there's no shame in your game. You're a badass woman physician. We already know you save lives for breakfast anyway. So you not knowing this, you just need to know. That's it. Right? We're not gonna like curse our kids out for not knowing how to vacuum. You've never taught them how to vacuum, or not know how to read if you've never taught them how to read. So why would you be unkind to yourself like that? So many times what we don't know can cause us to hide because we're hiding from shame. And again, think about it. It's like you're trying to go on driving in your car to the destination down the street, but now you're like rewinding back and pulling your butt back, like making make sense. It doesn't make sense. So shame is just a waste of time. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Number three is I've noticed that a lot of women physicians will have shame about having. And, this is something that, this one is a really, really important one. And I'll say it's important because if you're having shame about having, it's probably because you think that those that have deserve or not deserve. You're like, I don't deserve it. So I feel guilty and I feel shame that I have all of this money. I've literally met people that have like $500,000, $1 million in cash.
because they're not doing the work of looking at their finances and making moves when it comes to their money, because it's like, why, how do I get to have all of that money? Like, there's that, just that guilt and habit. But again, this goes back to that fundamental of, it shows your relationship with money. It shows that you don't understand money. Because when you understand that money is just a tool that you get to use, does not determine your identity, and whether you have or not have has no reflection on you as your value as a human. If you understand that, it's less, having is less of a baggage, right? If you don't understand that, then having feels like something you have to carry. Like, it's not something that I have to carry, something that I get to use as a tool. It's my responsibility to figure out how it can be used, how to grow it and how to use it. That's literally it's like, this is an engine that I'm running. It's an engine that I'm running. I want you to start thinking about your money as an engine that you're running. It is not you. I'm like the money mechanic. You are the money mechanic. We build ourselves and we move the money. We tell the money where to go, right? It's not, we are not the money. So why would you feel shame about having, instead of feeling joy that you get to be the manager, the mechanic that is working this beautiful machine? That's how I feel when it comes to money. And I truly believe it's a healthier place to be, because I don't define my identity on it. I can exist as a human. I can exist as a mom, as a physician, as a coach, as a leader, as a podcaster, as a book writer, as all of these other hats that I wear, as a Soxy Doc founder. By the way, did you know that we make socks called Soxy Doc? If you don't, you need to check it out. So Soxydoc is our line of personalized socks for women physicians. So Soxy, it's a play on the word sexy, but Soxy, SOCKSY doc.com. You can go check it out so you can grab yourself some like Soxy Doc. And I love Soxy Doc. I love the mission behind it. I love the giving arm. That is a core of what we do in there as well. But the bottom line is, you need to understand that you are a mechanic. I'm literally like, the hands and feet. I'm doing the things, but I literally am the mechanic that works those stuff. And it is an honor of my life to do them. Okay. The next one, which is number 4, is maybe you have shame about wanting more. You're like, but I already earn way more than most people that I know. And I feel guilty that I want more. Again, the reflection of your relationship with money. And maybe that's a part that I need to fix first, to understand that money is not your identity. Money is not you. Money is a tool that you get to use. Money is not meant to be hoarded. Money is meant to, like, to grow. It grows, it multiplies. And when you position money to multiply and grow, you will be blessed mightily, because that's the purpose of money, is to grow like that. It's to grow, it's to grow, it's to grow, so that it can actually pour over and go bless other people. That's it's like, work the machine. If you work the machine's gonna work. Okay. And then the last but not the least is new seasons. You have shame about new seasons. You're like, how am I gonna handle not seeing patients anymore? You feel shame about not working like crazy. I don't believe any physician should work full time, because if you want to practice medicine with longevity, you're gonna have to pace yourself, right? And so when you're experiencing shame about not overworking, it's literally preventing you from taking action in the season that you're in. One of the things that I like to remind people again is that our time is our most precious commodity. If you're not using your time well, what do you got? If you're not using your time optimally, like, we all have to give account about how we spent our time, right? At the end of the day, at the end of our lives, I believe we're going to do that. And so the question becomes, what did you do with the time that you had? Did you invest it like an asset, or were you so fueled with shame about the fact that your seasons were going to change? I see we haven't learned anything at all from the different seasons that we have in life. We have summer. Imagine we have summer, we have spring, we have winter, we have fall. Imagine getting to fall and feeling shame about it being fall. Like, make it make sense. Imagine being in winter and feeling shame that it's winter. It's like, no, seasons exist for a reason. So for some of you guys, maybe a sabbatical is supposed to be in the future. For some of you guys, working full time, quitting your practice, starting your practice, like starting your startup, like whatever it is. Like, those are some of the things that actually matters, right? And you keep hiding from it, and that's why you're playing small. That's why your finances have a ceiling.
That's why your career is not satisfying. So if you want to change, if you want to like lead a life of abundance, you're going to have to change your relationship with shame. And as far as I'm concerned, shame has no room. Shame is completely, honestly, the only benefit of shame is to tell you that you need to work on on that part. But otherwise, shame is so useless. So the way you let go of it is you just decide that from today onward, I'm not gonna have a shame-filled mindset. I'm not gonna look at my life, I'm not gonna look at my finances, my decisions from the lens of shame. Instead, I'm gonna look from the lens of growth mindset and on the lens of like wealthy mindset and on the lens of like, I get to know that I have to on the lens of forgiving yourself and knowing that you're growing into the future and you're making the best choices that you know how to. That is how you grow. That is how you make sure that shame does not hold you back. So, my question for you is which one of this are you guilty of? Which one of this is like, yeah, Latifah, you caught me, right? Which one of it is it? Because at the end of the day, it's not your past that determines your future, it's your current that determines your future. And when you look at the future you have for yourself, what do you want? If nothing changes, the actions you're taking right now, will that lead to the outcome that you want? Or is it time for you to change it? One of the things that we've done inside of the money school is we provided a no shame, shame free, judgment free zone for women physicians where they can be themselves to learn money, to use money for good as a tool to grow their finances. It's building a legacy, and that's what I'm here for. So if you're a woman physician and you're ready to build your financial legacy in 2025, you want to learn about money, you want to learn how to take that income you're earning and turn it into more money, more freedom. You want to learn how to take the income you're earning right now and invest it. You want to learn how to diversify your income source. You want to learn how to speak in power, how to be emboldened, how to stop waking up afraid, playing small. Those are all the things I would do inside of the Money Square. And the way you can schedule a call is go to moneyfitmd.com/call. Go ahead and answer the questions there, and we'll schedule a call with you once we get all of your stuff in. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I want to say thank you so much for listening to the podcast. If I can be of service, please reach out. The way you do that is by going to moneyfitmd.com/call, or you can send me an email at Dr. Latifat, the T at moneyfitmd.com. Thank you guys so much. God bless you. I'm rooting for you. And thank you for being a part of my life. Have a good night.